We saw some very, very disturbing behavior from a beloved Star Trek actor, Larry David, and rightfully, we have some strong opinions about the behavior that was portrayed in his brutal assault on other beloved Star Trek actor, Elmo. We're going to have Zoth, as representative of the company, read a little statement. Take it away.
So I heard about Larry David assaulting Elmo on live television. I didn't watch it until now because I knew I would be upset. Me. Holy shit, it's even worse than I thought. What the fuck is wrong with that guy? Elmo is like the best friend to multiple generations of children in the Sesame Street universe. Elmo is a child who is currently putting mental health and caring for others in the spotlight. And Larry fucking David did that. And that it was going to be, and thought it was going to be funny. What an asshole. What a stupid, self-centered, tone-deaf asshole. Full disclosure, all the time when I was growing up, my dad would grab me by the shoulders and shake me while he screamed in my face. He choked me more than once. He was always out of control, always furious with rage.
Oh, man, what?
And always terrifying. I'm a 51-year-old man, and my heart is pounding right now, recalling how I felt when I was little boy who loved Grover the way today's kids love Elmo.
What?
So this appalling, unforgivable, despicable act hits more than one raw nerve for me. And I'm going to say that I wish... fuck, I lost... This
Wish I'd been able to say.
This is a difficult subject matter. It's okay if you need a little break. I understand.
There it is. I wish I'd been able to say when this sort of thing happened to me, Larry David, this was not okay. And your insincere apology clearly communicates that you didn't get that. First of all, you aren't even in the segment, but you just decided to barge in and draw focus because why? You couldn't stand that a puppet brought people together in a meaningful way that you can't. You couldn't stand that your appearance on national television to promote your wildly successful series was delayed for a few seconds while the adults talked about mental health. You wanted to manufacture a viral moment where everyone gets to see what an asshole you are. So they'll tune in and watch to portray your show that celebrates how great it is to be an asshole without ever experiencing the consequences of being that asshole.
Elmo, sorry that Will Wheaton has so much trauma. Elmo, done listening now.
Elmo, sorry.
Elmo, hope you find help.
I cannot do an Elmo voice.
I really want you to know what I raced through this tiny... I really want you to know what raced through this tiny little mind and why there was no voice or person who spoke up to stop him from expressing violence towards a children's puppet. Who was there to talk about his love and empathy for people having a tough time mattered and made a difference?
I thought when he said a small mind, he was talking about Elmo. Like, imagine how Elmo felt during this.
Hey, Elmo not have small mind.
I gotta put this in like my own notepad because I have to like scroll across.
Will Wheaton to say thoughts about Israel and Palestine.
Oh God!
Since Will Wheaton have so many opinions.
Like, read the room, dickhead. It isn't always about you being the center of attention, and understand what's happening in the moment, fucko.
Yeah, dickhead.
Understand that there are larger things in the world than you and your garbage ego. You know, I was watching the Today Show with their... excuse me. You know who was watching the Today Show with their parents? kids who also watch Sesame Street. Elmo is an avatar for all children all over the world. Children who are too small to understand Elmo is a puppet will know that a man attacks someone they love for no reason, and that will frighten and confuse them. Elmo inspired a deeply meaningful and important moment of collective support among disparate people who have been struggling through the traumas of a pandemic, daily mass shootings, the rise of fascism, and everything associated with Trump's violence and cruelty. Oh my God.
You hear that, Larry David? Trump, that's on you.
Yeah, shithead.
And shitty idiot Larry David couldn't leave it alone for some reason. He had to indirectly tell people who opened their hearts to a Muppet that they were stupid, and he thought it was a good joke to physically attack and choke this character who is beloved by children and adults alike.
Elmo want rematch. Elmo bring tire iron. Elmo really fuck you up.
Proximity alert. Vessel approaching. The vessel is hailing.
Space.
Warning. Warp core collapse in 10 seconds. Unable to comply. Specify parameters.
Meet me outside, Larry David. Meet me outside with tire iron. Shitty idiot.
You know what that tells impressionable young people about sharing their feelings? Larry David strikes me as a person who mocks and belittles people who are vulnerable and sensitive and enjoys being cruel because he feels untouchable. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's who I see whenever I can't find the remote and he's on my television. Jesus. How often are you? What are you? Larry David's on one channel. Whatever, etc., something. Shame on you, Larry.
It's okay. I understand. I understand. This is a difficult time for everyone involved. I can do it. I can do good with Wheaton. Excuse me. Gotta really clear it out. By contrast, Elmo and the Muppets.
This is like him rightfully being called out online, like after this for like putting like all that shit in there, but like not talking about like the like hiding in silence when there's an active genocide going on, right? And so to like go on this whole tirade, and to completely bring that up. What the fuck? Why are you doing this like political stunt? This like this?
Elmo won't hear that. And a tire iron.
Unfortunately, I hear we're getting a lot of pushback already right now on this statement that we've released. And I just have to say, listen, if you're here to dismissively blather on about how I can't take a joke, or it was just a joke, or I'm too sensitive, or whatever else comes from your bag of invalidation, please just leave. A lot of us who have had the same visceral reaction to a grown man putting his hands on a child, Elmo was 4 years old, in anger, without consent, and then, excuse me, that's not, it doesn't reflect my feelings on consent.
No, that's totally part of the statement. It says burp right here. I'm reading it.
And then laughing about it. All share an experience that you should be grateful you don't share with us. And when you say your shitty little toxic cruel thing, when you reduce the whole thing to a puppet and a joke, you're doing to us what the adults around us did when what the adults around us did when we were kids, and it hurts all over again. Are you really someone who wants to hurt another person simply because you can? Maybe take the impulse to be a jerk and redirect it into being grateful. You have no idea why this is so upsetting to so many of us here at Left Trek. You know, I wish I could do an Elmo impression.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fucking what a fucking pair of clown shoes. This man is just go back to your podcast. Go back to, you know, your little niche portion of pop culture.
he shills a new Trek. I don't know. There's some famous clips of him like kind of like going into tears talking about like what the second season of Picard is like his like means. Like you said, your character here says that family. Now this is a family that finally reach out and touch me, touch someone. And I'm sorry, I'm tearing up a little bit. The most amazing thing from this entire thing is me finding out that Will Wheaton's 51 years old. That all came from a man who is 51 years old. The people talking about this kind of thing are like rightfully saying that like this is something that you couldn't find after like 2012 on the internet, like this kind of this level of posting. He's a special guy.
I mean, it's a great copy pasta. Not gonna lie,
it's too long.
This is great.
It's a manifesto.
I didn't realize how it's too long to be a copy pasta.
Pages of the screen.
It's gonna have to be. Yeah, I didn't realize how long it was until I put it into. I posted into Discord, and then Discord did the thing where it converts it into a text document and uploads.
I want to see the version. I want to see the version that goes around Bluesky. That's just like emojis representing half of it. You know.
That's what we need.
Just frowny
Elmo
face.
is a child. Laughing monkey. What an asshole.
We really do need a severely edited down version of that to make it to a copy pasta. Maybe edit out the part where you come forward with your father's abuse in the most Will Wheaton way that anyone could possibly imagine.
Was Will Wheaton asked to come back to fucking the show?
He's still here. He's still around somewhere. He's lurking in the background.
Will Wheaton never left show.
I assume you mean in TNG, and yeah, he's lurking somewhere. Oh.
No, I meant like in like Picard, like in New Trek. Like, was he asked to come back
so
to do Picard?
that's the funniest thing ever.
He is in Picard,
he
right?
is kind of. So
What do you mean, kind of? He's definitely
when they
Picard.
brought back everyone to for the third season, it's like everyone, all your TNG favorite TNG actors are over here, like Gates McFadden, all these people, the entire cast except for Will Wheaton, who had been shilling New Trek the entire his entire existence, and he didn't get brought back for it. He does have the stupidest fucking cameo in all of existence, where he comes and takes Soji, one of the like robot twins, I guess. Like, he apparently he's with the Traveler, and so he's ascended to 5D, you see, and so then he takes one of the previous characters in Picard, and then I don't know, he takes them to the Avengers.
Yeah, this is.
Nika, Nika, you need to wake up. Nika, we're recording.
Oh God, sorry. Oh God, sorry.
It's
I fell
okay.
asleep.
Well, so I was saying, so you see the Traveler, he's been collecting the greatest mind. Welcome to Laugh Trek, folks. You're left to the Star Trek podcast. I'm Eric. I'm very, very personally attacked by Larry David's very personal attack on Elmo. And
Larry David gonna get attacked.
and I am joined by
Elmo waiting outside.
I can't even attempt it.
Larry David better not come Sesame
You'll
Street.
see you in the back.
Elmo gonna f you up, Larry David.
I see you in the back of the studio. See you.
Better not come to my neighborhood.
Meet me on Sesame Street, bitch.
Yeah.
Better not come to
Actually,
Elmo neighborhood.
Larry David probably does frequent someplace like Sesame Street since it's been gentrified.
I remember Larry David talking about shunning Alan Dershowitz when they like saw each other at a grocery store. It was a scene right out of the fucking thing. He tries to come up and like hang out with Larry, and it's like Larry, hey, what's up? Larry's like, you're working for that monster. I can't have this. I don't want to talk to you. Sorry. And I'm joined by Zots.
Hi everyone, I'm Zots. I'm just somebody just filled with too many future parts and can't get angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry or put into states of duress.
Actually referring to the episode that we're talking about, my goodness. And we are joined once again by special guest, the one, the only, the always lovely Nikatine.
Hello, it's me, Nikatine, the star of the episode.
And also other special guest, Elmo.
It's Elmo!
God, poor Nika. No, don't. We're ending the bit.
Don't strain your voice.
I want Zots to shut up. It's Elmo time. Elmo time to shut. Don't end up like Larry David.
He's a bad man.
Elmo.
You can find him with the trash monster.
Elmo.
What's the
Elmo.
trash
Elmo.
monster's
Catch a
name?
bubble. Catch a bubble, Elmo.
Well, we're watching. I don't know what the fuck's this episode. It's that one. You remember, folks watching at home who are fellow fans of TNG. It's the Vietnam one. They wouldn't let us win. God damn it! They drew first blood.
First blood. Kill streak.
we join this planet of bureaucrats. They want to join the Federation, and apparently they'll make a fine addition.
Yeah, who is it? Who is the bureaucrats?
Why don't you enlighten?
It's Tywin. It's Tywin
It
Lannister.
is? What?
It's James
Is that why he
Cromwell.
looks so faster? Is that why he looks so familiar?
Yeah, it's James Cromwell. He's also in the Godzilla movies. He's like the eco-terrorist and who's in charge of Monarch.
How did I not spy this? How did I not notice that?
Because he's much younger here than he was in
He's
fucking Game of
supposed
Thrones.
to.
He's in so many Star Trek episodes.
Is he really? How do I?
Yeah, James Cromwell's
I'm
everywhere.
usually really good at spotting these things. I did not.
Oh, you know what it is? He has a mustache. You probably didn't notice him 'cause he's
Oh,
got a
the
mustache.
classic
I heard his
mustache.
voice. I heard his voice from the other room, and I was like, "Oh God, Tywin Lannister."
I'm gonna go like rewatch fucking like clips from this episode. When I'm rewatching clips from this episode, I'm gonna be like, oh my fucking god, that is that. I would have had a very different reaction to this episode, I think, if I was imagining it from Tywin Lannister the entire time. Kind of playing a very similar character.
Yeah, and he even got to wear the same outfit from Wrath of Khan. They gave him the Wrath of Khan turtleneck for this.
That.
It's the same costume, yeah.
Also, what's with everybody on this planet having costumes that you can guess whether they're circumcised or not? Or not even guess. Like you can see it. You can actively you can actively see like everyone's like full on. Like you're just like, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, I also
that makes
didn't
sense.
notice
He's probably
this.
European.
Oh yeah, they're not on a different planet. This is finally Germany getting into the Federation. They've been out for this entire time, some kind of EU thing. Well, you know what? We'll get into it. So these people, Tywin Lannister, he's trying to bring Casterly Rock into the Federation, and they're going to make a great addition. Except apparently they have a prison. It's not going to fly in the Federation.
Orbital gulag.
Your orbital
prison.
gulag is going to need to be abolished before you are allowed into the Federation. If the Federation is very explicitly a post-prison abolition society.
Elmo think Larry David should go there.
Yeah, thankfully, no Will Wheaton in this episode, but this.
Will Wheaton too.
Despite the Federation being a strong advocate of prison abolition, Riker's jumping at the opportunity to play space cop. A prisoner has escaped their orbital gulag. We're not prepared to deal with this. So he's piloting a transport ship, and apparently he's a fucking genius. So there he is. He's getting tracked down by the Enterprise. And then he goes behind an asteroid, and then he emerges from the other side of the asteroid. It's just the drive section. Where's the cockpit? Oh my god, it's on the asteroid. He must have tried to make a break for it, then fucking crashed and fucking died. But they're like, well, shit. What's going on? But we don't see any life signs. Wait a second. Where's the drive section? It's gone. Boom. If somehow the fucking Enterprise cannot find the really slow moving craft that was just right there.
They pulled a Picard maneuver.
They pulled the Picard maneuver, whatever the fuck that is, which is also really stupid. Nikatine, I'm gonna put you in the shoes. Yeah. I'm gonna pull a Picard maneuver. Okay. So, oh no, I'm getting a phone call. This is the Picard maneuver.
Is it Larry David? Tell him Elmo not here.
20 minutes later.
Wow, this is riveting fucking...
Hey, I'm cutting. You don't think I'm going to cut that out? God, Jesus, I'm going to cut that out.
Elmo cut Larry David.
Yeah.
Elmo cut his ass.
All right, Nika, what are you going to fire on? You're fighting another ship, right?
Yeah.
And you see the ship. It's right there. And then suddenly another version of the ship has appeared suddenly right in front of you. Are you going to fire on the...
Are these ships... Is this ship moving at the speed of light, perchance?
You can't tell.
For how long are there two ships?
Nika, all you can
is it
see.
The span of like a tiny fraction of a second.
If you think about it, it would be for the tiny fraction of a second.
Yeah.
But suddenly there's a ship that was there, and then suddenly there's the ship that's now there that's right fucking next to you. All right, which one are you gonna shoot?
Both. Shoot them both.
You're dead! You've been exploded! You just got Picard maneuvered!
Oh, no, damn it! Oh, damn it! This happens every time. Damn it!
It's one of the best maneuvers that anyone's ever thought of. My favorite maneuver is the Harry Kim maneuver, where you transport a photon torpedo onto their ship. But we'll get to that.
My favorite maneuver is the Janeway maneuver,
where you self-destruct.
Yeah, you ram another ship as hard as you can.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that when we get to
my
Voyager
favorite maneuver is the rusty trombone.
Oh, yeah, what's that?
Elmo's too.
But oh my god, the dry section disappeared. The prisoner, he's eluded them. They didn't find any life signs, blah blah blah. And for some reason the Enterprise is just extremely focused on finding this one guy for these people. This kind of seems like maybe a non-interference thing, but hey, they're a big candidate, you know. It's no big deal. Pick up their prisoner. Bad luck on this guy, but and they figured it out. They can see literally everywhere in the solar system with their sensors except for one place, and so they go to the one place that they can't see, and sure enough, the guy's hiding there. He's in the magnetic pole, but this motherfucker, he's a tactical genius. They lock a tractor beam onto him. He charges directly at the Enterprise, and they're like, "Oh, he's trying to commit suicide."
It's the Janeway
bounces
maneuver.
off the shield. It's the Janeway. He tries to Janeway it. He bounced off the shield, and at the moment he bounced off the shield, Data anticipates it. He launched an escape pod. I don't know why. Apparently, if Data wasn't really on the ball here, they wouldn't have noticed the escape pod that is presumably just hanging out right next to the ship. But hey, you know, whatever. So now he's in the escape pod. But Data, he figured it out. He's very tactical, and they beam this motherfucker up. So they beam this guy onto the ship, and they disable his weapon and transport. It's O'Brien's there, and they got security waiting for him. They shoot him with some phasers. The phasers don't work. O'Brien's like, more security, like that zombie in Night of the Living Dead or whatever it is. And then he gets involved into a fight. The security officer bends the cheap plastic on the floor of the transporter as he goes and tries to tackle this guy. They're in a huge fight. This guy, he's a very handsome man, and he's just strong as fuck. Phasers don't work at him. He's throwing people around. O'Brien tries to tackle him with his famous Irish punch, but he gets put down too. The prisoner has no life signs, and that's how he's able to be fooled. So I don't know why they didn't just beam him into a fucking containment cell immediately. I guess he had a weapon with him, even though they can disable that. Can they not just transport him into the brig and then transport his weapon out?
If he didn't have life signs, how did they transport him? How did they use the transporter if he doesn't have any life signs?
Because they transported everything that wasn't the ship.
That was vaguely,
into the ship.
That was Picard's order was transport anything the size of a male between this height and this weight.
Isn't there a non-zero risk?
Profile.
They could have just transported half of him.
Somehow,
they're gonna take that
goddamn
risk.
thing. They got the whole guy.
You always get the whole guy when you're just transporting objects.
Listen, if you can transport a soul, you can transport whatever the fuck that dude was.
Don't tell Enterprise they always get the whole guy. Nobody tell Enterprise.
It's not because he's an android, because apparently you can pick up android life signs, and so somehow for some reason he has some sort of enhancement that that even the fucking Federation can't pick up. But hey, whatever. He's into holding. Oh yeah, he gets like Worf and Riker come down and they have to like dual pin him down. And then continuous, presumably, because they say this, they don't show it, just continuously phaser him until the point that they can drag his ass into a containment cell. But they get him in the cell, and it's the middle of the night, allegedly. He's tossing and turning in his sleep in the cell, and of course Troy hears him moaning in the hallway and goes to investigate. That's part of her job. She has to investigate moaning sounds. Everything would have been just a-okay with this escape attempt if not for the space empire that showed up and thwarted it. And Troy, he's fucking around with Troy, having a little repartee. He killed 3 men to get out of the prison, even though apparently it's really not that bad. And Troy just can't believe he's a violent person. He apparently has a non-violent personality, which Troy can tell by measuring the bumps on his skull. But Picard is perfectly willing to play warden, and they're like, whatever, we're just gonna give this fucking guy over and let him be like killed or whatever the fuck. But Picard's like, you know what? Let's investigate him. No criminal record. Apparently, he was in a military prison, indicating he was a soldier. And there's no record of what his crime was. His crime was that he was, I guess, a Vietnam War vet.
Too sexy.
He's a very attractive Doom guy. He's a very attractive Master Chief. So this guy, we find out he's a super soldier. He's given to violence, which when he senses that he's in danger, and not like a premeditated thing. They just fucking activate and go off, and they just kill motherfuckers that threaten them.
This feels. Can I just say also? This feels like a bit of an oversight. I mean, if you're gonna make a military, like a super soldier, you should have some kind of off button, right? Like.
Yeah, the friendly fire incidents are probably a little, little intense around there, but hey, whatever. But they were exiled because their programming just made that happen. Their super soldier brainwashing, and they never really tried to fix it. Like apparently they maybe could have fixed it. Like it's a drug that's in your system, and the drug's still in their system. They made no effort to extract the drug because they were like, these people will probably still be like that even if we take the drug out. so instead they just put them on the fucking moon.
Yeah, they just went, eh.
And Data's and so Data comes down and talks to him, and it is like, and he does like the tough guy thing where Data's like, hi, and he's like, what do you want? Am I disturbing you? Yeah, you're disturbing me. And then Data's like, okay, I'll leave. He's like, wait, no, please don't leave, Data. I'm so lonely. I like that. That was a good little one.
I must really be desperate.
You're right. Data comes down and he's like, oh, my programming can be altered. Can your programming not? And he's like, no, I just freak the fuck out and kill people. It's how I was programmed. I don't know. This was permanent. I deserve this. I'm a mean person. I'll kill you. I'll kill anyone to keep myself from going back to this place. And Picard, he's talking to Tywin Lannister, and Tywin's like,
out like a really funny scene. Not funny scene. I thought it was funny.
Zots, why are you so quiet all of a
Zots,
sudden?
what the hell?
You left out a scene that was pretty funny I thought it was funny.
Please.
When he was like, do you know what it's like to always remember everything you did, every murder you committed? And Data's like, yes.
Every war crime.
Actually,
Data's had a rough pass. So Picard's talking to Tywin Lannister, and they're like, oh, we can use our medical technology to save this, to help this guy. You know, Picard's talking about how he's a prison abolitionist, and he's like, no, fuck you. We're not gonna do anything to help all these people. We're just gonna keep them in prison and keep sending guards to get murdered every once in a while. It's a matter of internal security. I'm turning off my screen, and Picard is like, a matter of internal security, the age-old cry of the oppressor. And I'm like, damn, Picard is fucking based as hell. this guy rules. What the fuck? It sounds like I can hear you smacking.
Oh
your
my
wet
fucking
lips.
god.
and then we make it 1,000 times worse. Down, bad. But you know, so Picard is like, oh, we have no right to keep this guy. We can't refuse to hand him over. And I'm like, well, you're the guy that caught him. I mean, like, did you have any right to catch him? Like, you have no right to interfere with their society. What right did you have to interfere with this guy's badass escape attempt? But I get that's Monday morning quarterbacking, I suppose. Riker was just really gun-ho to do some prisoner catching, do some wrangling.
Right, wrangling Riker.
That's what they call him. He makes it very clear that he will somehow find a way to die rather than return to his looter prison, which should have set off some alarm bells for this guy. But hey, whatever. And they got a ton of security people present. They're outside the shield, and they're gonna transport him over to the ship. And then they transport him. Extreme badass maneuver. He's being transported, and then he just kind of like, he starts stretching and wiggling, and Troy's like, no, don't do it, you're gonna die, and then it fucking explodes. He fought the transporter,
Captain,
and
he's
won.
Too wiggly. Captain, he's too baby.
He beat up the transporter beam, and then that transporter.
Ooh.
And did that transport him somewhere else on the ship, or did everything just explode around him?
I don't know.
I was unclear
I just
as
watched
to that.
it, I don't know.
So he fought the train. He resisted being transported, but he grabbed a phaser and he's now stalking down the hall. And he pretended, and this is all very tactical stuff. They're setting a turbolift trap, and he pretends to be baited by it, but instead he sent a phaser bomb down there that Worf live diffuses as it's exploding. Which, like, okay, all right, Worf, that's pretty badass. That's a couple more points in my book, Worf. Nice work. Instead he knocks out some fucking security guy and uses the security guy's comm badge to drop the force field. Don't know how that worked, but hey, whatever. He goes down to engineering to get into the Jeffries tube, and even though he had to fight Geordi LaForge, who's built like the tank from Left 4 Dead, but he defeats tank Geordi LaForge very easily, and we see his corpse laying on the ground with his gigantic. His arms that are each twice the size of his torso is kind of like levitating him off the floor. The Jeffries tubes are shown to be things that you can stand up and walk around in, and that's not canon. They need to be 100% non-wheelchair accessible.
Actually, if anything is canon, this is canon, because this is the first appearance of the Jeffries tubes.
Excuse me, but a disabled person could easily get around in.
That's right.
Like Jeffries tube need to be something that you have to crawl your fucking weight, like shoulders and knees, just crawling around.
All of those portrayals of the Jeffries tubes are the wrong ones. This is the right one, because it's the first time that Star Trek recognizes and uses the term Jeffries tube. Actually,
Actually, if all the Jeffries tubes were like that, there'd be too much space on the ship. That's a lot of wasted space. Is that a premium? So me. So he's not killing anyone, even though he certainly can. But maybe he just doesn't see them as a threat, so he's not like bending down and snapping all their necks like he's in Hitman. But for some reason, he's convinced that they're all convinced that he's going to go to a shuttle bay to escape. It's like that. First of all, that doesn't really seem like the best option. But hey, you know what? Whatever. He's not doing that anyway. He's actually going to a cargo bay, and he sets a bomb in one of the Jeffries tubes, one of the non-canon Jeffries tubes, and he's gonna go get a transporter. But all the transporters are off, so it's fine. They expected this to happen, and they're not gonna let him do it. But. And so they track him. They track him down to the cargo bay, and they fucking gas him because they know he's there. But he's got an N95 mask, so he's immune. And then sets an ambush for Worf to show up, and they have a cool fight that begins as the fucking bomb we saw him set earlier goes off. For some reason, he's able to transport away totally easily because the transporter was merely off, and he powered it with the phaser, which. I mean, that raised a lot of questions, but I mean, hey, it's interesting.
Didn't even plug it in. He just set it down. Is it wireless?
He just kind of shoved.
Listen, I can only imagine.
Shoved the phaser in there.
I can only imagine what the radiation on a phaser is. Like, there's that thing. Like, I've seen what it did to, like, what was it, the top of a village, or what did Data shoot at that one time?
Zot's is one of those conspiracy theorists who like won't walk under high tension power lines.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's
It's 4G, 5G, now 6G.
Data,
too many G.
We literally watched Data emit a fucking beam that like vaporized half a mountain from like 20 miles away.
He shot some water and it destroyed all of the water for like 20 miles.
Yeah,
like
it was pretty good.
It's like the live action. Well, I guess the old live action Dungeons and Dragons movie where the dragon shoots the water and then all the water like everywhere blows up. And Data used the same technology.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, so you're telling me that those things that just shoot out light are like they're not a little bit like radioactive or like emitting something that shouldn't be so closely stored to the balls.
No, it's fine, and you can power a transporter with it or something, I guess. But I just kind of, it's like it's a view of technology, whereas like if your car doesn't start, then you can like grab like your remote and just kind of like jam that in where the battery is supposed to be, and then just use that for a little while. Just grab a gun. So
that's how everything works here in America. You just shoot it. Car don't start, shoot it. Fire happens, shoot the fire.
Yeah.
And the bomb. Yeah.
Oh shoot! Pow pow!
You see, the bomb was even more.
Larry David.
Try that in a small town. Try that in a small town in Sesame Street. He's trying that in a small town. The bomb has disabled their sensors. They're not able to track him. He could have beamed anywhere. And I guess he beamed over to the ship, but they don't know where the ship is. I guess because their sensors are down from one explosion. I don't know. We're ignoring it. We're not thinking about it. So even though it seems at this point they really should not be involved. They're looking for him again. They're trying to track him down, and they're not suited to handle this. The people, the Tywin Lannister people, they're not suited to handle this situation. That's why they made these Spartans for. They spotted him. They're on their way to the capital city, and there's a bunch of them now. He went and he liberated the facility. It's in chaos. The captain's gonna go down there for some reason. He talks about it. He sounds like he's pretty convinced that they're gonna be all just fine. But Riker still takes Worf aside and is like, "You better not fuck this up. You better not let the captain die or hold you personally responsible." they're handing out all these lists. So down on the planet, they're just a bunch of like guys in a room. They're just handing out weapons to all of them. They're just dressed in these little like futuristic 80s style like business outfits, and they're just holding these like fucking these little sci-fi guns, and they're like, what where are your then the crew beams down. There's only like 6 of them. It's like, where are your security people? And Picard goes, we're not gonna fight your little war for you. And through a dialogue, And what the fuck did I say here? Interviewed
Jesus
through
Christ,
a dialogue.
Are you okay?
No, my notes are real fucking
My
sloppy. I'm
notes.
really struggling. I'm really struggling through
Yo,
this.
can I do it? I can do it.
Please go ahead. Go right ahead. My voice is dying.
Picard
anyway.
says, in your own words, this is not our affair. We cannot interfere in the natural course of your society's development, and I'd say it's going to develop significantly in the next few minutes.
Yeah,
You missed it.
This man got like the whole
You
episode.
skipped it.
This man, the whole episode, completely ignoring the prime directive to help out the white people, and he's just like, now all of a sudden he wants to start quoting shit when things start getting too difficult.
No, it's not that it's too difficult. This is the coldest moment Picard ever had. He knows these guys are going to get eaten alive by these military, like ex-military special forces dudes. This is seriously the coolest thing I've ever seen Picard do. In any of the movies, in any of the show, this is the coolest moment for Picard.
So while I have a little bit of my voice left, it's revealed through a dialogue. That's what I'm saying, that this is where we find out that they could have taken the chemicals out, but they just didn't bother. It's whatever. There was a referendum, so everyone on the planet voted to like, hey, what do we do with all these super soldiers we made? Put them on the moon. Well, what if we need them again? We might need them again. Who knows? It's like, cool, great. Picard tells them to, and then all the army guys, they pop out. They've got guns. It's like, oh no, shoot us, kill us, destroy us. Picard's like, no, but put down your weapons. Don't respond. And the guy's trying to goad them into shooting them. Shoot us, destroy us, but you will not ignore us. The Federation people are basically entirely on the side of the prisoners. They just want who just want their lives back. They just want to go home. The politicians are like, return your weapons and go back to the fucking moon, and we'll see what we can do. And he's like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
that's where Picard
was.
comes in.
This is where that quote was.
Picard, can you? Tywin Lannister speaking. Picard, can you please use your big ship and kill all these fucking people? And Picard's like, nope, fuck you. We returned your prisoner to you, and we cannot interfere with the development of your society, and it's gonna develop a whole lot in a little bit.
He told them they could fill out the application again when they were ready.
when you're ready for membership of the Federation, we'd be pleased to reconsider your application. And I thought the episode ended right there, but they go back on the ship and they kind of reiterate it. It's like Picard's like, if the government survives, inform them that if government survives in the morning, inform them that we will assist them in rehabilitating their veterans. And if it doesn't survive, it probably will.
Yeah. Riker's like, Captain, are you sure that that's gonna work? And he's just like, yeah, probably.
It'll be fine.
Wrap it up. We're never coming back here again.
And that's that episode, folks. Zots, out of a total of 117 super soldiers, how would you rate this episode? And give us your thoughts.
I don't know, like six super soldiers. I don't know. It was
out of 177.
It was
that's so low.
Yeah, no, this was a really dumb episode. Here's the thing: if I have learned for the whole time since we've been watching this thing, I am not a Trekkie. This is not.
This is torture.
This is literally. I hate this fucking show. Like, I cannot stand it. So like at this point, like any time that they try to like do like these fucking episodes where it's just like, oh, well, there's this huge thing where it's just like, do we step in and handle this? Like, do we catch the terrorists for them? Like, what would Hillary Clinton have done? And then it's just like this whole, I hate this whole
Pokemon go to the orbital gulag.
yeah, that's it's just so, they
Ask
try
it a
so
super
hard to say
soldiers.
something. They try so hard to say something. And at the
The
end,
super predators.
they
on
just
the moon.
the super predators, we sent them to the moon. Every time that the show tries to say something or like make commentary on a thing, like it just always trips over its own feet and falls on its fucking face. And on top of that, this wasn't like a fun episode. Like it was boring. It was a boring episode. More interesting than the last couple ones that I've seen, and I haven't seen the last 4.
Oh yeah, you missed the last episode, which was a really, really, really good one, and it's a real shame because we've had some stinkers, and that was supposed to be the one that like really picks. You missed Zotz missed the Defector, the one with the Romulan guy defecting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that was an unfortunate one to miss.
Sucks.
Because that's an all-timer. So you've just been really getting crap after crap recently. I understand.
It was what's his nuts dead by this time?
Gene Roddenberry?
Yeah.
No, he's still. I don't think he's involved at this point, but he is kind of like clinging on to barely clinging on to life for a few years. I think he dies like a year later. This episode's from because the In Memoriam I remember is in Unification. That's in like season 5. So I'm pretty sure he's hanging on for like a year or two here, but he's not involved anymore at this point. He's too sick. He's delivering orders, which are then being filtered through his lawyer, and his lawyer has like this weird totalitarian role where he's like having Marina Sirtis like stuff her bra or whatever the fuck. So I have no idea.
Yeah, it sucks. I don't know. I got like really nothing to say other than like, if I want to go back and really, when I think back wanting to relive portions of my like youth, like for nostalgia purposes, for like escapism, like I can't understand how anybody is like, yeah, let's watch Star Trek. Like it just does. It's like what the fuck? There's like Street Sharks out there, right? Like you can like watch that again. Like have you ever seen Xena the Warrior Princess? Like that was also out around this time. That's a pretty awesome show. Like. What compels anyone to fucking, I don't know. I'm asking the wrong people.
Zotz, we're gonna have to go back and watch the last
it's
episode.
not gonna help.
I think if we watched a good episode, it would have helped.
It's not gonna help.
Come on, there have been some good ones.
Zotz,
remember the Q one?
Zotz is in his own personal orbital gulag.
Yeah.
The gulag of the mind.
The only Q episode that I can think of off the top of the head is the one that we made up that would have made a better episode between him and Picard. Where it's just like him just like walking through leading Picard through an empty fucking ship and just being like, like kind of like like that Christmas movie or whatever, where it's just like, this is what it would have looked like if you would have saved them, Picard. Like that's.
You mean A Christmas Story? Are you talking about A Christmas Story?
I don't remember.
No. The one about the fucking.
Oh yeah, the Jimmy Stewart. Oh,
yeah.
Mr. Potter. Oh,
that one.
It's a Wonderful Life. That's what it's called.
That one. That's the one that like I like. It would have made for a better. It was like one of the episodes. I think it was like the start of this season or the end of the second season where it was like a writer's strike and they had to like fill up.
Episode.
And, it was the recap episode, I think. And it was like, I just remember Q was involved and they had to go like on like a ship by themselves. Like he's like, oh, you're going to come with me. You're going to come with me and do this one favor, Picard, and like something or other. And I don't know. That's the only Q episode. I remember like this sucked. What would be better?
What about the Borg one? That's the Q episode I'm talking about. Remember the Borg one with Whoopi Goldberg?
Oh yeah.
Zotz, you remember that? Remember the good times, Zotz, with Whoopi Goldberg?
No, you know what? You know what episode still stays with me in a positive light? the fucking Alien episode, like the one where it's just like the chest burster and they like shoot it and like that's
yes!
that is
What a
Yes! It's called Conspiracy, and it's one of my favorite episodes.
that.
That's what
more
about the
episodes like that.
survivors?
What-
Do you remember the old guy on the planet who was
You liked that, Eric, not me.
You didn't like that? You liked that? You liked that episode? Come on.
You're gaslighting me on how I feel.
No, that episode was amazing.
The
What are you talking
Sots
about?
may have loved this episode, but I have some thoughts, okay?
Okay, Nikatine out of what's another Halo reference? Nikatine out of a total of 7 rings. How would you rate this episode?
Well, okay, here's the thing. I've seen Star Trek The Next Generation several times, all the way through, and I had no idea which episode this was. but I have some thoughts about it, and it's that one of the biggest criticisms that I personally have of the show, and I want to be serious here for a second. One of the biggest criticisms that I have of TNG is that occasionally it dips way too hard into both sidesing situations that don't deserve two sides.
Yes.
And so this episode, I believe, is one of the episodes where they don't do a both sides type of thing. It starts out like it's going to be that way, but they fake you out. And at the end, Picard leaves the government at the hands of these of the people they oppressed, and he's like, "Well, there you go, guys. They're all yours now."
Yeah, but like, here's the thing. How would Picard have enacted, or how would Picard have reacted if the prisoner had a couple forehead ridges, you know, or some like elongated ears?
So if we go by Star Trek lore, nothing is as bad as gene manipulation to the Federation because of the events of World War III. And so these guys should be, by all metrics, far, far worse than anybody with head ridges, because they're like criminals by existing to the Federation.
That's true, and that's already been established. That was established in the original series.
Yeah. So I think that they wouldn't have reacted any differently if they'd had head ridges. If anything, they would have been more amenable to them because they weren't they're not gene manipulated people or whatever. So of my criticisms of TNG, that they usually dip too hard into the both sidesing type of thing, I think it was actually really refreshing to see Picard not only side with these oppressed prisoners, but also do it in the fucking coldest way possible by just walking over with them, being like, well, we're happy to reschedule in a couple of months when you guys get your stuff together, but it's like you guys said, it's out of our hands, so adios muchachos, beam us out.
Well, yeah, imagine someone's holding a fucking someone's holding an AK-47 to Obama, and Picard just tell me how this resolves. Catch you in the morning. It's so good. Okay, so give me a rating system.
What would you say about out of nine Larry David appearances where he shakes a grown man's hand wearing a puppet costume?
You mean brutally assaults a grown man's hand?
Yeah, where Larry, out of nine different television sets portraying the brutal assault by Larry David upon a grown man's hand wearing a puppet costume, how many television sets is it worth?
9 VHS copies submitted to the FBI about Larry David's dangerous behavior.
Dangerous criminal Larry David.
I will safely give this one a 7.5 out of 9. I liked it. I think it was pretty good. I basically entirely agree with you, Nika. I did not remember this episode. I remember this episode. I remember basically everything that happened in the episode, except for how fucking super based it was. Actually super fucking cool and good the politics are in this episode. First, it establishes firmly the Federation's stance on prisons, which is no prisons. Fucking rules, excellent. And next, it not just like sides with the oppressor, but it survives with the oppressor that they were aligned against, who had physically done damage to them and their property and their people, and they still side with the oppressor at the end, even calling the motherfuckers the oppressors. Not just what we're saying here, us also leftoids. He literally says like, "Oh, the age-old cry of the oppressor." He's calling Tywin Lannister a settler, and that's great. And the ending is so fucking badass with Picard walking out of the room, like, and just transporting away, and then these fucking militants just like take the positions where he once was. It rules.
It is very, very good. And there's also this little bit, I don't know if we mentioned it, about how all the prisoners are they're like Manchurian candidated into activating when they're threatened. So the only way that any of them will kill anybody is if they're like threatening them with guns. And these dweeby politicians all have like guns that they have no idea like how to use. And they're just holding them, like kind of thinking like maybe they're gonna threaten them. And Picard's like, well, just don't threaten them and you guys will be fine, right?
It's not in their nature to kill you, so unless you start some shit, good luck. Yeah, I loved it. It was great. But points away for it was the plotting was a little loose. While the politics were rather clear, the setup for it kind of doesn't make a lot of sense. It is also very clearly like a reference to like this and you can't ignore the like Rambo like reference, like, oh, they didn't let us win, we could have won, you know kind of thing. For basically it's a reference for
Vietnam,
like, treating PTSD in like Vietnam soldiers. But all in all, that's not like a bad thing, that's not like a bad even the direct and explicit politics, unlike an episode that I liked in the first season, which was very clearly like a both sidesing of the Iran-Contra affair. This one was pretty clear with what it was about, and then also added on something above and beyond that with its reference to with talking about like the prisons and oppression and how that's a bad thing. So a 7.5 out of 9, a solid 8 out of 10 on that scale. I really liked it. I'm sorry that you didn't like it very much, Zaz, but that's why we have Zaz here. Zaz is not just a neophyte to Star Trek, but one of the most blatant and glorious contrarians I've ever personally met in my entire life, and I love and appreciate.
Sorry, I hate fun. I guess I don't know.
No, don't say sorry. It's I love it. It's great. Don't ever change. Please, we need more content.
You should hear my opinions on One Piece.
Oh, they might match my opinions on One Piece. Well, hey, good news, listener. Maybe at some point you can hear me and Zodz rip on fucking One Piece.
Looney Tune shit, actual fucking Looney Tune shit. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. Fucking sure, like this. I don't know. Whoa, it was an episode. Yay.
Any closing thoughts?
No.
Please do not assault any more puppets. If you know the location of the fugitive Larry David, please send it to lefttrek@gmail.com.
Elmo knows location, but Elmo not telling.
Elmo, where can
being the only being the only one here with a kid who's like around Elmo's age, I can't imagine that Elmo would have hit a dead body very well. You know,
Larry David's like hanging halfway out of a dumpster in Sesame Street. The dumpster monster, whatever his name is,
Oscar the Grouch
is like, get out of here.
Yeah, no, I honestly just like imagine that there's just like a blanket over it, or like just like a pillow, like
It's just
lazily
an Amazon
up.
box, a discarded Amazon box over his face.
Yeah. Where is he? Oh, I don't know, buddy. Where do you think he is? Oh, I better go. Is he in the bathroom? No.
Elmo here the whole time.
Yeah.
He's
much.
in the walls.
Elmo don't talk without lawyer.
Elmo, where can people find you if they want to hear more of your direct threats with Larry
David's
David?
house.
Yeah, follow the noise of Larry David's knees getting fucking buckled by a crowbar.
Larry David wakes up and it's Big Bird outside with a baseball bat.
Well, Larry David wakes up and flips over his covers, and Big Bird's head is in the bed. Well, that's Left Trek, folks. Tune in next time for, I don't know, let me see if the next episode's a good one. I'm feeling very bad for Zots. Let's see. I think no. We live in the modern internet. I clicked a button. Work.
Next episode is called The High Ground, and it's Dr. Crusher is captured by terrorists who want to involve the Federation in their struggle for freedom.
No, not this
what
one.
Episode this is.
No,
not it's gonna be great. Zots, you're gonna love it.
No,
Zots, you're gonna love it.
Please. Oh God.
Are you sure about
worst
that?
possible
Yeah, you're gonna
episode.
love it, Zots. You're gonna love it.
Oh, this is the worst possible episode. No. Oh God, I forgot
it's even got a lot of Wesley Crusher in it.
It's got so much Wesley Crusher in it.
Look at all this Wesley in here. It's full of Wesley.
Oh man,
Yeah,
we'll
that's gonna be
tune in
good.
next time on Left Trek. Ba, 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 ba.